Thanks for stopping into the Clean Cuisine. Today we are going to be making these delicious stuffed peppers. So I took 4 peppers and cut them lengthwise, took out all the insides, and we're going to take 1 pound of grass-fed ground beef and in a pan like so over medium-high heat. We're just going to brown that. While I'm browning this, I'm going to throw the sheet pan of the peppers that I've lined with aluminum foil, drizzle with a little olive oil, crank a few salt and pepper shakes, and put them in the oven for about 10 to 20 minutes. Now to this beef, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of paprika, and I'm just going to stir that in and kind of let that sit till all the fat renders out. I love colored peppers, guys. Green are great too, but the reds, the yellows, the oranges, they really have so much more flavor. They're a little more sweeter when you roast them. They're delicious. I think that's the way to go. So now that the fat's all rendered out, I'm just going to kind of tilt the pan and with a spoon just kind of drain some of this fat. I actually like to leave a little bit, so I'm not going to take it all out, but I think all this fat is not necessary. So I'm going to just throw that into a little glass dish I've got next to the pan. And I think I mentioned before, about 400 degrees for about anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. You want your peppers to be still al dente, so soft to the touch but not overdone. So this, you may have some left over if you're doing the meal plan for the whole 30 for week 1 with us. You may have some chili left over from your tacos the beginning of the week. I'm just going to go ahead and add about, it's probably between 1/8 and 1/4 cup of salsa that I have left over. It's just going to add a little more depth of flavor to our meat here. If you have any kind of salsa, or if you want to throw in some tomatoes, or some other herbs, go for it. Get crazy. And then after that's done, I'm just going to take a handful of some fresh chopped cilantro. This is where my daughters like to get involved. And just kind of sprinkle that over the beef and then stir that in as well. And at this point, your peppers should be done. You notice there's a little pool of liquid in the bottom. That's totally normal. You can dump that out or you can leave it in there. But this is what they look like once they come out of the oven. So now I'm just going to take a large spoon and make sure that I stuff each one. You want to get as much meat in there as you can. You might even have some meat left over like we did. And you can use that for anything and everything, leftovers for lunch the next day, or just add it to the side for some extra protein with your dinner. So I've filled these to the brim. Now you may or may not have heard of this. This is a new product that we're kind of using in our house since we're going without dairy, but it's nutritional yeast. It's pretty popular in the vegan and plant-based lifestyle because it sort of acts as like a Parmesan cheese. Now, when I would normally make these peppers, I'd give a really nice coating of mozzarella or like a Monterey Jack cheddar, whatever I had on hand, I'd put on top. But since we're not doing cheese or dairy, again, I'm going to add some of this nutritional yeast, and it'll just give it that little bit of cheesy flavor that I like. Believe it or not, it tasted really good. I wasn't missing my cheese at all. So I'm just going to throw these back into the oven at 400 degrees just for about 5-10 minutes tops, just to kind of make all the flavors marry and get that nutritional yeast incorporated in as well. And this is what you're left with, guys. It is delicious. And don't forget to subscribe for more healthy, quick, and easy meals.